We've got some fresh images of 3I Atlas, a third ever interstellar object observed from Earth, currently racing through our solar system now. Astronomers have captured that moment live, streaming in real time.
Panic rippled through the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Data streams from the Deep Space Network went wild, then silent, as something violently ambushed 3I Atlas. This interstellar comet, once a subject of scientific awe, became a victim of an unknown force, triggering an unprecedented NASA emergency meeting. The very fabric of our cosmic understanding has been torn, revealing a terrifying gap in our defenses. We're going to explore the astonishing facts of what happened, why it has rocked the scientific community to its core, and why humanity is suddenly facing a threat for which we are tragically unprepared. A shattered visitor. The initial data was confusing, almost unbelievable. Telemetry registered a massive, instantaneous energy spike, not unlike a cosmic blast, followed by a rapid deceleration that could only be described as violent. Within moments, the comet's tail, usually a brilliant green and blue expanse stretching for hundreds of thousands of miles, fragmented into a chaotic dust cloud, scattering across space. This wasn't a gradual breakup due to solar winds or a gentle tidal force. This was an abrupt, destructive intervention. The signals from probes that were remotely observing 3I Atlas, meant to gather crucial information about its composition and origin, went dark. One moment, pristine data, the next, utter chaos. The most shocking fact is, what happened defied every known natural astronomical phenomenon. For decades, astronomers have cataloged countless objects in our solar system, from rocky asteroids to icy comets, understanding their physics, their orbits, and their behaviors. But the ambush of 3I Atlas presented something entirely new. It was as if an unseen hand had reached out and crushed a tiny, fragile moth mid-flight. The scale of the energy released was immense, estimated to be equivalent to thousands of megatons of TNT, yet no precursor events, no known stellar flares, no rogue black holes. Nothing in our predictive models could account for it. The data showed distinct impact signatures, but from what? The void of space is vast, spanning light years, making such an encounter statistically improbable, to put it mildly. 3I Atlas, traveling at roughly 100,000 miles per hour, had been an isolated traveler. The likelihood of a random collision with an object large enough to cause such damage, especially one that left no prior trace, was astronomically low, practically zero. What many overlooked is the sheer size of the target. 3I Atlas, though a comet, was no small pebble. Estimates suggested it measured about 1/2 mile across, a substantial chunk of primordial ice and rock. For something of that mass to be violently disrupted, it required an impactor of considerable size and velocity, or an energy source beyond our current understanding. The suddenness of the event left no time for warnings, no opportunity for the comet to deflect or evade. It was a cosmic sneak attack, a brutal display of force in the silent theater of the cosmos. The images, once they could be processed through the scattered debris, showed a comet not merely broken but torn apart. Its once solid nucleus now a collection of larger fragments spiraling outwards, surrounded by billions of tiny icy shards reflecting the distant sunlight. It looked like a cosmic explosion, yet without the telltale radiation signatures of an internal detonation. You see, the universe is full of surprises, but this one felt deliberate, almost targeted. The rapid disintegration pointed to an external force, a sudden powerful blow. The question wasn't if something hit it, but what and how. This event was not a gentle brush with space dust, it was a devastating assault. The true nature of this invisible assailant remains elusive, fueling an urgent search for answers. The perplexing nature of the 3I Atlas incident deepened the mystery. Scientists have always been fascinated by interstellar objects, those rare travelers from distant star systems. 3I Atlas, like its predecessor Oumuamua, presented a unique opportunity to study material that originated outside our solar neighborhood. These objects are incredibly important. They carry clues about other stars and their planetary systems. The fact that 3I Atlas was a comet actively outgassing and displaying a tail made it even more valuable for study. Oumuamua, for instance, was a strange, cigar-shaped object that baffled astronomers because it showed no cometary activity, leading to wild speculation, though eventually explained by natural phenomena. 3I Atlas, however, was a textbook comet, until it wasn't. What sets this event apart is not just the destruction, but the lack of explanation. When a comet or asteroid breaks up, there are usually clear reasons. Perhaps a close pass to the sun or gravitational stresses from a giant planet. But 3I Atlas was far from any major celestial body, cruising through the outer reaches of our solar system, roughly 400 million miles from Earth, well beyond the orbit of Mars. At that distance, solar radiation wouldn't cause such a sudden, cataclysmic event. There were no strong gravitational fields to rip it apart. It was a lone cosmic traveler, seemingly immune to internal or common external forces until it met its abrupt end. The sheer absence of a detectable impactor is another chilling detail. Our orbital telescopes and ground-based radar systems are incredibly sensitive. We can track objects as small as a softball in Earth orbit and much larger ones farther out. For an object to cause such immense damage and vanish without a trace, it implies technology far beyond our grasp, or a natural phenomenon so rare and exotic it defies our current understanding of physics. The thing nobody tells you is that even the most powerful space telescopes, like the Hubble and James Webb Space Telescopes designed to peer back to the dawn of time, saw nothing approaching 3I Atlas in the moments before impact. It was simply there, then gone. Many people are crazy about theories involving alien spacecraft, while scientific minds naturally lean towards natural explanations. The extraordinary circumstances surrounding 3I Atlas push the boundaries of conventional thinking. The precise, focused nature of the energy release observed in the fragmented debris field suggests something more directed than a random cosmic bullet. It wasn't a diffuse cloud of particles, it was a concentrated, powerful event. The lack of any residual gravitational effects or electromagnetic signatures further compounds the mystery. It's as if whatever struck it and then simply ceased to exist, leaving only destruction in its wake. This event forces us to confront a profound question. What if the universe isn't as empty or as predictable as we assume? We spend billions of dollars on planetary defense, tracking near-Earth objects that might pose a threat. But this wasn't a near-Earth object. This was an object from another star, far out in the solar system, hit by something utterly unknown. What many overlooked is that our entire planetary defense strategy assumes we can detect and track threats. This incident suggests a class of threats we can't even perceive until it's too late. The implications extend far beyond a single comet. They touch upon our entire understanding of cosmic safety. The question now becomes, how do we even begin to defend against an invisible, undetectable force? A gathering storm. The NASA emergency meeting was less a gathering of minds and more a collision of panic and desperate strategy. Director Thorne, a woman whose calm demeanor was usually legendary, paced the room, her voice strained. The data screens flashed red with warnings, not of a direct threat to Earth, but of an unprecedented event that had stripped away any illusion of cosmic security. "We are not prepared," she reiterated, the words hanging heavy in the air. The core problem, you see, wasn't just the destruction of 3I Atlas, but the utterly baffling nature of its demise. How can you prepare for an enemy you can't even see or understand? The room was filled with the brightest minds in astrophysics, planetary defense, and theoretical physics. Their usual debates, filled with academic rigor and spirited arguments, were replaced by a tense, somber silence. Proposals were floated and dismissed with grim practicality. Deploying a new probe to the 3I Atlas debris field, now hundreds of millions of miles away, would take months, maybe years, even with our fastest rockets. By then, the debris would be too dispersed, the trail too cold. What about retrospective analysis? Poring over old telescope data, looking for any fleeting anomaly? It was a needle in a cosmic haystack, but a necessary step. The suddenness of the event highlighted a critical vulnerability: our blind spots. For all our advanced telescopes, from Earth-orbiting observatories like Chandra and XMM Newton to ground-based behemoths, they are designed to look for known signatures: light, radiation, gravitational lensing, thermal emissions. Whatever ambushed 3I Atlas left none of those. It was a ghost in the cosmic machine. What many overlooked is that our observational technology, while incredible, is still limited by our current understanding of physics. If a phenomenon operates outside that understanding, it remains invisible. The most shocking fact is that humanity's total investment in planetary defense, while substantial, is geared towards preventing known dangers: asteroids, comets, and solar flares. We have strategies, albeit still in their infancy, to potentially deflect large objects on a collision course with Earth. But what if the threat isn't a natural object, or at least not one we recognize? How do you deflect something you can't detect? This incident exposes a terrifying paradigm shift. We've always seen space as a largely empty, predictable expanse, governed by understandable laws. The ambush of 3I Atlas suggests a more unpredictable, potentially hostile reality. To put it mildly, the meeting wasn't about finding solutions. It was about acknowledging a profound and unsettling new problem. The scientists and engineers, usually so confident in their models and calculations, now faced a void of information. The phrase "we are not prepared" wasn't a lament. It was a stark, urgent call for a complete reevaluation of our place in the cosmos. It raised the terrifying possibility that Earth could be vulnerable to similar unseen forces without any warning. This unforeseen incident has forced us to reconsider everything about our cosmic neighborhood. The violent ambush of 3I Atlas forces us to expand our thinking beyond conventional cosmic threats. Interstellar objects themselves are rare, with only a handful confirmed. These objects, hurtling across vast stretches of space between star systems, are usually products of chaotic stellar events, ejected from their home systems by gravitational slingshots or stellar collisions. They are the ultimate cosmic wanderers. For one such wanderer to be violently destroyed in our solar system, not by our sun or planets, but by an unseen force, introduces a terrifying new category of celestial phenomena. Many people are crazy about stories of advanced alien civilizations. While it's tempting to jump to such conclusions, the scientific community is meticulously exploring every possible natural explanation, no matter how remote. Could it be a dark matter event, a localized anomaly of exotic particles interacting in a way we don't comprehend? Could it be a micro-black hole, tiny but incredibly dense, passing through the comet and continuing on its way, leaving no discernible trace? You see, the universe holds many secrets, and our understanding is still in its infancy. What makes this so difficult is that every natural theory currently fails to fully explain the combined suddenness, energy, and lack of residual evidence. The thing nobody tells you is that our solar system, while seemingly vast and empty, is also a cosmic shooting gallery constantly bombarded by dust, small rocks, and the occasional larger asteroid or comet. But we have a comprehensive, if not perfect, understanding of these projectiles. We track tens of thousands of near-Earth asteroids and comets. Objects like 3I Atlas are different. They come from truly alien environments, and they might carry with them unexpected properties or interact with unseen elements of space in ways we haven't modeled. What many overlooked is that our experience is solely based on our own stellar backyard. The vastness between stars, a region billions of miles across, is truly uncharted territory. The implications for our future in space are profound. If objects traveling through interstellar space can be ambushed without warning, how safe are future deep space missions, or even potential long-duration space habitats beyond Earth orbit? The journey to Mars, a few 100 million miles away, already presents immense challenges. Imagine venturing to a new star system billions of miles distant if such unseen threats lurk in the void. This event isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's a fundamental challenge to our very concept of cosmic exploration and safety. The most shocking fact is that this event serves as a stark reminder of our technological limitations. You see, we are magnificent in our ability to peer across billions of light years with the James Webb Telescope and to land rovers on distant planets to search for ancient life. We can even send probes like Voyager, which has traveled for over 40 years and billions of miles, to the very edge of the solar system. Yet a 1/2 mile wide comet, an object large enough to be a global threat, was utterly destroyed within our own cosmic backyard by something we couldn't detect before, during, or after the event. To put it mildly, our entire planetary defense system is built to track incoming objects that we can see. But this ambush was silent and invisible. The thing nobody tells you is that we are essentially blind to anything that doesn't reflect light or emit radiation we know how to look for. What if the real dangers in the universe don't play by those rules? We are like guards watching a single door while an unseen enemy can walk right through the walls. The need for revolutionary new detection technologies becomes overwhelmingly clear. We need systems that can sense subtle gravitational disturbances or exotic particle interactions that are currently beyond our grasp. The violent ambush of 3I Atlas leaves us with unsettling questions. Are we living in a cosmic neighborhood more dangerous than we ever imagined? Is what struck 3I Atlas still out there lurking? Like and subscribe to uncover more cosmic mysteries.